Okay. So here Prabhupada talks about one important thing, that this message of the Bhagavad Gita is not understandable by everyone. Though there are over 1,000 commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita, generally what people try to do, Gita is a very famous book. So what is usually found is people take the Bhagavad Gita, shut Krishna's mouth and speak what they want. Isn't it? So that means they are actually propagating their own agenda in the name of Bhagavad Gita. And who does it? Politicians. Isn't it? And academics, the historians, they all do the same thing. So much.
Because
Isn't
they're
it?
actually contemplating in this philosophical, highbrow, jostling ideas.
Yeah.
It's pretty simple actually, but they want to bring a flavor of academic nonsense which they can actually teach in their class then.
Yes.
You see?
So therefore, what will I have another document where we'll try to see who can understand the Bhagavad Gita and what is the spirit with which Gita has to be understood.
50 marks open book quiz.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What is this?
Basically, they want to ride on the status of Gita.
Yeah.
Because people will believe what they say because they do not read it themselves. So
Yeah, where do you find the recent one? What is this?
in the first folder.
Inside this one? There's no doubt about it.
And this is true.
Very this thing, no time. Wasting my time actually it is. Understand. Okay. Okay, now you can see. See, Gita is one of the most important literatures amongst all the literatures. Why is it most important? Because Krishna speaks the essence of all the Vedic knowledge. We can read this. Sarvopanishado gavo Dogdha Gopalanandanaha Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Partho Dogdham Gitamritam Mahat. Tarun, can you read?
This Gita Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, the essence of all the Upanishads is just like a cow, and Lord Krishna, who is famous as a cowherd boy, is milking this cow. Arjuna is just like a calf, and learned scholars and pure devotees are to drink the nectarian milk of Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah. So, questions to all of you. What does the cow represent here?
The knowledge.
The Vedas.
Okay. Sorry? It is not the Gita.
The essence of all.
Yeah.
Essence of all the Shastras.
Cow represents the essence of all Shastras.
No, cow represents the Shastras and
The Upanishads. Sarva Upanishado Gavo. All the Upanishads you can consider to be a cow. Dogdha Gopalanandanaha. Who is the cowherd boy? Who is milking the cow? Krishna.
He's just basically churning all the.
The knowledge
Churning
from
all
No,
the
no, churning happens with yogurt. You don't churn milk. He's milking the cow.
milking.
Yeah. Partho,
What's
what's
the meaning of this word? Upanishads.
Upanishad? Literal meaning of Upanishad means to sit near a guru to listen.
Okay.
So in the Vedic Shastra, especially Shruti, the different categories of knowledge. Upanishads, for people who want to enjoy this world, there is Karma Kanda Shastra. Karma Kanda Shastra means you do some yajna, you get some prosperity and so on and so forth. Then comes Upanishads, those people who understand that this world is not going to give me happiness, who have now a little woken up. Okay, then they want to analyze what is this world all about? Who is that Parabrahman? So then they have Upanishads. So Upanishads are a little more complex, a little more complicated language, which actually talk about God. But because these are jnanis, they cannot just go to something very simple. If you just say chant Hare Krishna and be happy, it's too simple for them. So you have to use tough words and make it complex. Then they will relish it. Because this is for jnanis, Upanishads. But Sarva Upanishado Gavo. All the Upanishads represent a cow, and the coward boy is Krishna. Partho Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta. Who is the enjoyer? Who is the calf? Arjuna. And apart from Arjuna, there are also other people who also get this milk. Who are they? Devotees. Hare Krishna. Also devotees get this milk. Not others. Not the jnanis, not the philosophers, scientists. If those people who are not devotees, they don't get access to this milk. Dugdam Gita Amritam Mahat. See, Gita Mahatmya is a book or literature written by Adi Shankaracharya. So in this is sixth verse which talks about this thing. And so milk is Bhagavad Gita, essence of all the Upanishads. There's like essence of a cow is milk. Okay, next one. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Eko Mantrastasya Namani Yani. Karmapi Ekam Tasya Devasya Seva. Very simple. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Geetam. If you don't have time, you can only study one Shastra, study Devaki Putra's Gita. Who is Devaki Putra? Krishna's Gita. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. You don't have time to worship everyone. You have time to worship only one. Just worship Krishna. That suffices for everyone else. Shankaracharya is saying this. Eko Mantras Tasya Namani Yani. You don't have time to chant all the mantras. Just chant one mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So he is saying just chant Krishna's names, because within Krishna's name is included all of the mantras. And karmapi ekam tasya devasya seva. If you don't have time to do much activities, just serve Krishna. That's in itself sufficient. That's what is being said. This is Gita Mahatmya 7. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry?
Why does Sanatana Dharma promotes monotheism then? If
Monotheism?
yeah,
Monotheism.
monotheism.
Yeah.
So like, why do there is an population that can worship multiple gods, even at a point?
Do you mean they promote polytheism?
They promote
Yeah,
polytheism.
Polytheism, but we are promoting monotheism. Like we just follow one god,
Hmm.
and
Actually, Sanatana Dharma is a monotheistic path. Hmm. Those people, for example, if I say everyone is a prime minister, that's polytheism. But everyone is not a prime minister. There's one prime minister, others are chief ministers. So similarly, there is one god and others are subordinate to that one god, and they work under him as forming the administration for the working of this world.
so anyone who's following another god rather than Krishna, he's a demon.
He's a demon.
No,
No,
but
no, no.
at like the verse that we did like a few
Which one?
minutes back.
Yeah, which one? This
Not-
one?
Not,
Eko-
not in this text. The other one that says like either you are devotee or you are demon. The one.
No,
In the
it
purport?
was not meant in that sense.
In that sense, yeah. Demons are those people who try to take Bhagavad Gita and misconstrue the meaning to fit their agenda within. Like one commentator, he said, Sarvasya Chaham Nidhi Sannivishto. That means he talked about drinking tea. Because Chaha in one language is tea. Like that.
But Krishna
Yeah.
can be worshipped in many forms. As
Correct.
Like Krishna said, you can worship me in the sun, in the tree. You can worship me.
No, he never said that.
In when you see like Mahabharata, he says like different things and different parts.
So what Krishna is saying in the 10th chapter and the 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is Krishna is saying amongst all the demons I am Prahlad. Amongst all the planets I am which planet? Earth? No. So like, among all the stars I am the moon. So he's giving all this to show how I am the chief entity amongst all the entities, to give an idea to Arjuna. For example, if I say I'm very great, you can ask how great are you? I mean, I'm as great as, an IITian topper. Or then you get, okay, you're very great. So what you can relate with, Krishna is giving to Arjuna, what he can relate with. Like that.
And also most
Yeah.
other people who basically pray to for example, bodybuilders praying to Lord Hanuman a lot, right? Yeah, because that's what they pray for. So that, all of these. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's even shastric to pray to Hanuman for bodybuilding, because we don't see anywhere in Shastra that you pray to Hanuman and he'll give you a good body. That's not there
They
though.
pray because then that's a concoction.
Yeah, it's a
Right?
concoction.
Then
Yeah,
that's demonic.
yeah.
All of these pahalwans,
But of
right?
course, we
You
can't
see
just go around saying demonic. But that's
Not demonic. We can say it's not bona fide.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
What if they just, with good intention, good heart, just put their faith
In a particular demigod, then
in
what?
something like that,
Yeah,
based on whatever ideas they have formed about
Correct.
strength, themselves seeking strength or practicing strength, maintaining
if it's
strength.
towards a demigod, then that demigod will connect him to Krishna.
Yes.
If it's toward an imaginary form, his own imagination, then if it's like saying, the poor innocent boy, he never knew fire burns, but he just put his hand in. What will the fire do? Burns. Now I cannot say I'm just very new to this country, so I took a car and started driving on the left hand side. I cannot say that. I'm supposed to know. As soon as we have a human body, it's our responsibility to know. Just as we take it our responsibility to make progress in material life, isn't it? Can you say when you graduate from 12th standard, I never knew about IIT, can I still get a seat? You cannot say that. It's our responsibility. If you're a student, your responsibility to make sure that you know these things. So those people who are interested in spiritual life, it's our responsibility that we do the research, proper research. But if it's towards a particular demigod, then demigod connects him to the Supreme Lord. Okay. I hope I'll complete this today. Okay, quick exercise for all of you. Okay, 1, Upanishads. What do you connect with the right hand side? Okay, it's actually, I think I didn't read one particular verse. Yeah, Ganges water.
Yeah.
Malini mochana pumsam chale snanam jinnedini chakrat gitamritam snanam samsara malanashanam. No, this is one may cleanse himself daily by taking bath in water, but if one takes bath even once in the sacred Ganges of water of Bhagavad Gita, for him the dirt of material life is altogether vanquished. Okay.
And
Yeah.
by that, when he's saying taking a bath, does he mean implementing the teachings of Gita or just by reading it?
Bathing means, you are worshipping Gita through your intellect. You are actually absorbing the knowledge. Anyway, I don't know what Upanishads is, actually. I think something wrong in this. Anyway, so second one we go. Bhagavad Gita,
Ekam Shastram.
Ekam Shastram, correct. Lord Krishna, build the cow. Okay. Arjuna, calf. Learned scholars,
Men to drink the
uh,
men to drink the milk.
But they can be pure devotees also.
no, that's pure devotees meant to drink the milk.
It also said learned scholars.
Oh, really?
Learned scholars.
Learned
the
scholars and
pure
pure
devotees.
Okay. Okay. And Hare Krishna mantra,
Eko mantra.
Eka mantra. And devotional service,
Karma.
Karma pi Ekam. Eko seva is not there.
Karma pi ekam.
Yeah, and pure devotees,
Meant to drink the milk.
Then who's Eko Devo?
Krishna.
Krishna. Krishna is both, 5 and 6.
That was
Both.
power.
He's both. See, some of the items on the left may also not have any matches on the right.
No, that's Upanishad.
Yeah.
So particular that is Transcendental.
Okay. So this is once Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was touring South India, and he came across a temple in South India, Srirangam temple, and there he met an illiterate Brahmana. I mean, somehow this Brahmana was not literate. So he saw that this Brahmana was actually having Gita, but he was finding it very difficult to study the Bhagavad Gita. But at the same time, he had tears in his eyes and a smile on his face. So it was an interesting sight. Immediately, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to this Brahmana and asked him, "My dear Brahmana, what are you trying to do?" And Brahmana said, "I'm trying to read the Bhagavad Gita." But then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "But it seems that you're not able to pronounce the Sanskrit properly. You're finding it very difficult." He said, "Yes, I'm not able to read because I'm not very literate." At the same time, my guru has told me to study the Bhagavad Gita, so I'm just doing. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looked around. There were also other brahmanas pointing and laughing at this guy because he couldn't read properly. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, why do you continue to read? Because you don't know how to read. Why do you continue to read? He said, because my guru has told me I'm continuing to read, and by doing so, I'm getting tears of love for Krishna. That means when I'm opening the Bhagavad Gita book, the picture of Krishna becoming the chariot driver of Arjuna comes in front of me. And looking at this position of the Supreme Lord, taking a subservient position in front of his devotee as the driver of his chariot. Why is it subservient position? Because in war, one who is a chariot driver, you cannot tell him take left. There are being brahmastras and different missiles like arrows being shot and a lot of cries and everything going on, that we cannot actually hear the person, the passenger, what directions he's saying. So when he says left, the chariot driver cannot hear. So in the war, how do you actually direct the chariot driver? By kicking him. So Arjuna had to kick Krishna on the left for Krishna to take a left. Then he had to kick Krishna on the right for him to go to the right. And he had to kick Krishna in the straight at the back so that Krishna can go straight. Now, if it's a steep turn, in my understanding, you have to kick harder. Depending on the degree of the kick, you can understand. Because you cannot hear in the war. So, this Brahmana said, I'm feeling this great emotion for the Supreme Lord who is able to take this position in front of his devotee, for his devotee. Such is the love of my Lord. Immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got up and began to dance. And he said, this is the perfection of reading the Bhagavad Gita. What is it? That when you study the Bhagavad Gita, we have to develop loving feelings for Krishna. And this, the Brahmana, without reading, because of his sincere effort, he is able to get the ultimate perfection. Whereas there are so many scholars who are trying to study the Bhagavad Gita doing Sandhi Vichhed. Sandhi Vichhed, they are trying to divide the word, understand the Sanskrit and history of the word, what not, giving their own commentary, but the hearts are not becoming soft. Isn't it? So therefore, the Gita's purpose is defeated. And if this was the conclusion of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, Brahmana, this is your reading of the Bhagavad Gita is most perfect. So we see what is the spirit of approaching Bhagavad Gita? The spirit of approaching Bhagavad Gita is with devotion, is with sincerity. Not sincerity to read the shloka with the right pronunciation. That's also okay, that's important. But it's not the essence of reading Bhagavad Gita. What is the essence of reading Bhagavad Gita? To develop relationship with the Supreme Lord. And therefore in the 4.3 verse, Krishna is telling Arjuna, what is your qualification? Bhakto sakhā ceti. What is it? Rahasyaṁ etad uttamam. That means this topmost secret is being revealed to you because you're a friend and devotee. There's so many people, you can't force Krishna to give the secret. It's like you cannot force your friend to reveal the secret. You cannot force Krishna for knowledge. It's printed. Spiritual knowledge works in different ways, in a different way. It's not like material knowledge. Material knowledge you read off a book. Sometimes you don't need a teacher. You can just vomit it in the exam and it's done. But spiritual knowledge doesn't work like that. Spiritual knowledge, the realizations, actually dawn in the devotee's heart. That means when we act in such a way that is pleasing to Krishna, Krishna gives realizations. For some people to understand I'm not this body, I'm spirit soul, they'll scratch their head. They cannot understand this statement. For some others, it's very easy to understand. You will find some people to understand God exists very, very difficult. They'll put forth all different kinds of arguments. For some people, it's very easy. It's very simple. It's because we're approaching the Gita with the right spirit. When we approach with the right spirit, you get the knowledge. If you don't approach with the right spirit, you don't get knowledge of what Krishna is saying. You get all other kind of knowledge. Speculative concoction.
That's why he also said Shraddha and love.
Yes. Shraddha and love. Faithful in the knowledge. See? Can someone read this? I'm seeing devotion.
On the devotion of this afternoon in Ramananda, Lord Chaitanya embraced him and then told him that he had perfected the recitation of the Gita. Lord Chaitanya's approval of the Brahmana's perfection is far superior to millions of university doctorates. This accolade from the Lord proves that the Bhagavad Gita cannot be studied with material intelligence. The knowledge of the Gita must be received through the chain of acharyas or spiritual masters, coming down in disciplic succession. That is the only method. Otherwise, studying the Gita is an exercise in futility.
So we cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita by even reading the Bhagavad Gita. Some people ask, why do I need a middleman in between me and Krishna? Let me just study the Bhagavad Gita. I understand Krishna. No, it doesn't happen like that. Some people, when they ask, then I tell, okay, go to 434, chapter 434 verse. What does Krishna say? Go to Guru to understand me. He Krishna himself says. So they say, oh, I like reading the Bhagavad Gita. I daily read the Bhagavad Gita. Then they don't understand. 434 Krishna says, you want to know me? How do you know me? Go and surrender to my devotee. He will tell you about me. That's the only way to understand Krishna. From those who have understood Krishna. Those will be to a degree. Those who have realization, spiritual realizations. Yeah.
Krishna himself had a guru.
Yeah, to give an example, Krishna himself accepted the Guru. Yeah. Okay, this is important. Can you prove your name? Can you read this? Mayavadis are persons.
The mayavadis are persons who consider the form of Lord Krishna, maya, or made of material elements, out of envy, they did the sakhā,
Satchidananda,
Satchidananda,
spiritual.
spiritual form of God. The goal is not to serve the God, but to merge the impersonal Supreme Brahman and become God.
Supreme Brahman. Brahman means spirit. Supreme spirit, as Krishna.
Their small brain cannot understand how the Supreme Personality of God can become the charioteer of devotee and carry out his order.
Like one famous politician said that it is not Krishna who is speaking the Bhagavad Gita. For that verse, Sarvadharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Vraja, that verse in his commentary, he has written that it is not to Krishna we have to surrender to that impersonal Brahman who is speaking through Krishna. Very famous person.
Who is the person?
I cannot give his name. Therefore I'm saying very famous.
The message of Bhagavad Gita is confidential and will remain hidden to the mundane scholars who try to misinterpret the Lord's words.
Yeah. So that means once one of our sannyasis, he had gone to this scholar studying at Harvard University. Not scholar, he's actually a professor. So he was doing his studies on the Bhagavad Gita. So the sannyasi was very happy. Not just Bhagavad Gita, he was doing his studies on our acharyas' literatures, like Shatchandra Bhavjeev Goswami and many others. So when one of our sannyasis went to meet him, he knocked on the door. Then a lady opened the door and said, I want to meet this person. She said, okay, sure, come in. And as he entered, he saw this man is smoking and with some wine bottle on the table. And then he sat and sannyasi said, Hari Bol. Because he thought he's studying the acharya literatures. He's well conversant with our, lingos, the words we use. But this man, he was completely dumbstruck. He didn't know anything. But he was actually studying. So more he spoke, more the sannyasi spoke with the scholar, more he understood that this guy doesn't know anything. He only got is like, licking the bottle of the honey is not equivalent to licking the honey. So he's thinking he's studying the literatures, but he's only licking the bottle of the honey. He's not getting substance. So this goes to show that just by our forced study or just without emotion study of the literatures, it will not yield the right result. You are feeling cold? When switch off AC. So you also feel cold and switch off the AC. Yeah, 67 is pretty cold. I put 72 or 73.
Rohit wanted that.
Rohit is accustomed to New York weather, winter weather. So, there are different kinds of people who cannot understand the Bhagavad Gita. One of them is called the Mayavadis. Mayavadis' goal is to become Krishna. They practice different yoga system so that they actually can merge with one God. That is called as Advaita. Advaita means oneness. And
What
they
does it
say,
mean?
sorry.
What does that mean, one God?
No
Oneness.
One.
Means everything is only one thing is in existence, nothing else is in existence. That is this Brahman.
Okay.
And we are all Brahman, and we have to merge back into Brahman. So therefore, Prabhupada would say, God never becomes God. God is always God. Krishna, at the age of like 6 days old, he killed Putana. God is always God. 3 months old, killed Shakatasura. God is always God, isn't it? At the age of I think 5 or 7, he subdued the Kaliya snake. So Krishna never had to perform a yoga system to become God. Any incarnation, you will never find Lord Ram performing yoga system to become God. So therefore, the Mayavadis are those people who say that I want to become God. They think that I am only God. Like once, there was one beggar, Mayavadi, and he was begging. And while begging, he got tired and he was sleeping. So someone had put a chapati near him. And as he was sleeping, little light sleep, a dog came. A dog came and was trying to smell the roti and trying to get the roti and go away with it. As it was putting its mouth, this fellow got up and the dog immediately began to run away. Then he said, "Hey, Narayana, come back and take your chapati." So what he meant, I am also Narayana, this dog is also Narayana. I am Haridra Narayana, this dog Narayana. What is Haridra Narayana? One who has found from his spiritual position. He is Haridra Narayana. So in this way, people feel very free to concoct anything about the Supreme Lord. So therefore, the devotee's heart burns when they hear such, nonsensical ideas of spiritual path. So this way, people have coined terms like the Narayana. Even certain sannyasis of certain path, they come together and they are just Om Namo Narayana. That means Narayana and Narayana. And meeting like that. And they also take it to another level. Another level is people say that this is Brahman, like drink beer is Brahman. I am also Brahman. Brahman going into Brahman is also Brahman. This is actually a philosophy. It's a very famous philosophy. It's all the Mayavadis. They're categorized under the Mayavadis.
No, that's fine. You tell them who.
So when Adi Shankaracharya saw this behavior, immediately he was not happy with it. Immediately what did he do? He went, who is Shankaracharya? Shankaracharya is Shiva. In Padma Purana read. Ayavad Shastram Pracham Bauddham ceti. Vishnu tells, in the Yuga, I am as incarnation of Buddha, propagate false philosophy of Buddhism, and then I use Shankaracharya to propagate false philosophy of oneness. In Padma Purana, you're hearing shocked face. Brahman spirit, supreme spirit.
We pick the Supreme Spirit.
Pray, yeah. It's Krishna, like so.
Krishna, we as you told the story about the one beggar said everyone has Narayana.
Not as Narayana in him. He said, you are only Narayana.
Okay.
You are Narayana, you are dog Narayana, Narayana that has taken the form of a dog. I am the Narayana form of a beggar.
But isn't there a concept like Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Krishna Vishnu, that's like everyone has, there is one person, everyone has.
That is correct understanding. That is different understanding from this Maya understanding. So we are spiritual, we are mind like a drop of ocean. Krishna is like sun, we are like spark, and Krishna is like fire. We are Vibhu, Krishna is Vibhu, huge, unlimited, we are Anu. Anu means atomic.
And
Like
their
that,
understanding
quantitatively
is-
different.